What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I wanted to talk about the skills needed beyond LeetCode, beyond the technical problems, beyond the grind and sit there and study algorithms and data structures. So let's get right into it. While LeetCode is good for improving your overall skills in interviews and algorithms and data structures, we need to look at software engineering as a whole. So when you think about software engineering, somebody who's never actually software engineered might think just coding, throwing things at a wall, hopefully it works, coding. That's what we guys like, in the basements coding, that's what we think it is, hacking and all that. But if we look at it on the other side, as software engineer, I'm talking about the job and workspace. So this is a different type of software engineering. So I know you have the guys who make stuff, create things in their basement, make a bunch of money, apps, whatever, that make it work. Now, if we're talking about software engineering on the job scene, career scene, and this is most of the people who are LeetCoding are trying to get into this scene of software engineering. And this is what I wanted to talk about. It's not just LeetCoding. It's not just, algorithm problems, data structure problems. It's more of system architecture, design principles, conversing with other people that don't have the same mind as you. Different types of architecture and like methodologies and all these big words that you might think is not important, not looked focused on while you're LeetCoding and trying to get into the job, but these are the things that's gonna cut you up when you're in there. So let's talk about these skills that is important. Outside of after LeetCode, after you're done. Because I know you can get into this deep hole of LeetCode, you figure out a whole bunch of things, and then you're like, oh man, I got the job, and you got to figure out things. So I want to talk about the skills that you need inside the job. It's a game, guys. It's a game. So the careers and all this, you need to have unspoken laws and unspoken rules and unspoken, things that to be able to progress in this career. So when we're talking about software engineering, you're going to be talking with a bunch of other, computer guys. Most of these guys, like me, just want to stare at a computer and code, But extracting information that you need outside of these people and these coworkers is one skill that you need to learn. So learning to ask the right questions and, making your words make sense to where somebody can give you what you need so that you can progress in whatever project, whatever software engineer. If maybe you've hit a wall or a block and you need that one guy or one girl that knows this little bit of information that could help you figure out the problem and get you moving. Now, this is a skill, okay? When you're talking to these people, to your coworkers, you might have that one guy like, man, y'all connect. You could just talk about anything, but there are other people that you have to connect with that might not be on the same page as you, and you need to learn how to take your whatever and form it in a way that they can help you, and they will do the same thing to you. So knowing this behind in the middle of your head, when you're going through these when you're working in software engineering and coding and doing your regular things, this can come very useful. So what I wanted to get my point across is learn how to really talk to people. Okay, it might sound easy in your head, but people aren't just gonna give you your answer. If you're at lunch, you're just walking down the hall and be like, hey, did you figure this out? Whatever. They're gonna give you a quick answer. Okay. When you're walking down the hall talking to somebody, you're gonna get a walking down the hall talking to somebody answer. So what I mean is, make everything important. So say you're blocked, okay? You need some sort of knowledge that you don't know and this person knows. Send an email, set up a one-on-one and extract that information. Make sure it's important. What you need is important. Always remember that. So these other people don't think it's important, but it's important to you to progress in whatever you're doing. So you need to get this point across. So I'm going to give you some examples. So this person has something you need. Set up a email with him, set up a meeting, a Zoom, a one-on-one where you can get exactly what you need from that person. Okay, down to the last variable. You're like, okay, what's this? This is your time, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. doing 15 minutes to 20 minutes of talking and conversing with somebody can improve your overall progress towards your goal or completing whatever you need to do. Remember that. It's very important, because if you don't, you'll end up sitting in a corner for hours on end trying to get something done, messing up this right here, which won't, you'll be going insane trying to figure out problems by yourself. Sure, it's good to do problems by yourself, do the research, figure out everything you can while you can alone. But when it comes down to it, you spent 2-3 hours, you're like, man, I don't know what to do. Set up the meeting, get in a Zoom chat or whatever, one-on-one video call, and extract the information so that you can move forward. Okay, it sounds easy talking like this, me and you, but it might not be somebody you like. It might not be somebody, oh man, I gotta do. But doing this thing will progress you. And I wanted to get this point across because, it might help you, it might not help you. Take what you can from this video. So let's on to the next thing. So the next skill, technical knowledge, mental cue you need to know is that you always need to be learning. Okay. And I don't mean learning like, just learn random things. Okay. In order to, operate at the best skill level, progression to where you're, able and capable, you need to be learning. Now, what does this mean? I'm talking about like learning the different code bases that you're going to be working on, the different, languages that you're going to be working on, the different type of projects you're going to be working on. All of these things require learning. Okay. Every job that you get into, unless you specifically got hired for a specific job, for a specific thing, you're going to be learning something new. And I hate to tell you, you always think, like when I'm done learning C++, I'm going to be able to use C++ for the rest of my life and never have to open a book, never have to do any of this learning and whatever. Get that out your head right now. You're going to be learning for the rest of your life, for the rest of the time you are quote unquote working for another, for a company. So get used to learning. So how do you learn? You might be asking, like, what do I learn? Okay. When you get assigned to a new project, you're going to be doing something for somebody, okay, in work. It's just how it is. So when you're learning, you need to be able to accept that you don't know anything and go into it that you are going to be able to learn. So you can get really fed up with like, man, this is so much stuff. How am I going to learn all of this in this amount of time? How am I going to do? You need to stop asking those type of questions. You just need to be like, okay, this is what I need to know, or this is where I need to get to, and I need to know all these things to get to here. That's all you got to do, and just take it one step at a time. If you do too much, you're going to overwhelm yourself. So for example, say you've been assigned a new project where you're going to be using Python to do something, and then send that to TypeScript, and you're like, hold up, I've only done a calculator app in Python. Okay, first things first, figure out where you need to go. Okay, you need to do something with Python, like for example, change ASCII to whatever, Roman, whatever. Now, you have Python, you kind of know a little bit about Python. You're going to see how this is done in another way. Like somebody's done it in TypeScript, because I'm sure somebody else has done it. Read. Oh, go to Python's documents. Read. Figure out, okay, this is how, you can't do this in Python. Okay, boom. Try something out. Boom. All of a sudden, you've learned a whole bunch of things about Python, which will progress you to the next level, to which in reality or in the end, you'll end up getting that thing done and you succeeded with your goal or whatever, and they pay you. See, this is the mindset that you got to be in. You always learn. Never be like, I'm a C++ guy. I don't touch Python because it's trash. It's a bunch of snakes. No, you can't be like that. You got to be like, okay, what are we doing here? What do I need to learn? What's the best way to do it? Okay, maybe Python is not the best way to do it, but our code bases use Python, so we need to do that so it can be scalable. All of these things come into play. And if you don't think they don't come into play and they're not important, they will not be important. So just remember that. So next time, this goes back to phase 1. Okay, I need to get here. Let me ask that person. We need to figure out, do. I got a meeting with them. Boom. I'm learning Python. Boom. Okay, get this guy over here. We need to come in here. You make things happen. And you got to make things happen, because if you don't, things won't happen. Okay, sure, you might have a higher up that's like babying you. Oh yeah, do this, do this, do this. But in the end, if you don't know how to do it yourself, then you're gonna be replaced. Like, this is just the fact. How did that senior become a senior? He started doing things, boom, 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 figuring it out. Okay, he became a senior. You need to become that which you are going to be. So if you think you're going to be a software engineer, don't think about you being a software engineer. Think about the actions needed to become a software engineer. Okay, be that software engineer, because everything in the future is still in the future. You need to be now. Okay, this comes back to LeetCode. This comes back to, during the interview, after the interview, everything. You got to be right now. Okay, you're solving the LeetCode problem. Don't think after you solve this problem you're going to know something else. You're solving the problem now, and take what you can from this problem now, because when you're in an interview, you're going to be solving a problem now. I'm going on a rant, but this is a example of finding out. Get it done. Find out. Learn. Meetings. Yep. Now, these two things that I talked about, super important. Along with these two things, what was the first thing? First thing was, learning to extract information from other people and give information to people. Don't forget, they're going to extract information from you, and you got to be able to give it to them in a way that they can understand. This all comes back to, personal communication skills. Second thing, learn. Just remember learning, okay? You'll never stop learning. It sounds cliche, but you'll never stop learning. Number 3, and the last thing I'm going to end this video with, always be adaptive to change. So you may be thinking, oh, change, what are you talking about here? Change, money? No, I'm talking about change like you're working on a project 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, a week or a day. So you're at like 50 hours a week, whatever. You're figuring out, you're thinking about, you're sleeping in your bed thinking like, man, I got to solve this problem. All of a sudden, you're not doing the project no more. Things change. Oh yeah, we're moving you here. Don't get mad. See, things will always be changing. Remember why you are doing these things, to solve problems, okay? That's the root of the cause. So if you're solving this problem and you get changed into something else, don't get mad. Just remember that things will always change. Requirements will shift, and you'll have like issues and bugs, and there's always going to be problems. And this is what you signed up for. You're a problem solver, okay? Get this in your brain, because it will bring you at ease when their problems show up. You'll be prepared, okay? You'll be like, oh, another problem. It is what it is. I trained to do this. I'm trained to go. We're going to solve more problems. We're going to keep on going, keep on learning, and keep on extracting information to learn to solve these problems. It goes all in the loop, man. And you need to understand this, because if you don't, it can hurt you in the long run. So always be adaptive to change. Okay, change. So when you are working on a project, you get put on another project, don't get mad. Be resilient. Keep on moving. Keep on learning, because guess what? It's adding to your resume. It's adding to your knowledge. It's adding to you. The problems that you deal with you have problems, will help you easily attack new problems. You like that Python problem we were talking about. You get moved to another problem that's using Python for something else, but you already learned what you learned from that other Python problem. That's the power, man. That's the power. And just keep being adaptive, resilient, learn, extract information, improve. And you can get into a slump with the whole LeetCode thing, because you think, you LeetCode for hours on end thinking, oh yeah, after I'm done with LeetCoding, I just get on the job and do nothing. No. When you LeetCode's the beginner tutorial, okay? Nobody wants to talk about this, but once you get on the job, you have to fight to keep that position on the job. Okay, once you get up there, once you get on the mountain, you gotta, keep staying on the mountain, because there's thousands of other people down here who will come and take your spot. And just remember this, guys. Just remember this. Think about all the people who LeetCode and all those solutions that you get, from different languages, different backgrounds of people. Think about all that, and think about, if you got the job. I mean, everybody LeetCodes to get a job. I mean, that's just the end of it. If you LeetCode for fun, that more power to you. Go down to code forces and have fun. But most people LeetCode so that they can pass the coding interview, and knowing this will put you on top. Just remember. And I'm just I'm passing the sauce to you guys, so y'all can make some food with it. And guys, Like the video if you learned something new. I know I kind of went on a rant, but we're going to keep the videos coming. We're going to keep the knowledge coming. And y'all are all going to improve from this knowledge that we are learning. Okay, drop something in the comment down that you learned that might help somebody else on their progress path of software engineering. And subscribe, guys. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.